Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody on Earth. Maybe somewhere else, depends. Something could be out there listening. You never know. How are we all? Good? Very good. Hope we are. Welcome to Scalemodeling Live. And welcome to all those who watch the replay, because quite a few do watch the replay. Don't forget to comment. If you've got any comments below, give us the thumbs up if you like it, and we'll kick on. How are we all? I've got to adjust my camera down a little bit, maybe. Are we okay? I think we're okay. We've got a little bit of a slightly different angle. So I'm just trying to experiment. I really need to do a whole layout design here completely. I'd much rather be over near the window with the view, but then, of course, you have problems with the glare and then the sun coming through. It's a time of the year now where I'm not getting so much sunlight come in the condo here now. Maybe for about an hour or two in the morning, but the sun's getting up higher. So, and being the rainy season, it's a lot cloudier. So you don't usually get the sun that much anyway in the mornings. It's usually the mornings are overcast. But anyway, how are we? Gary's there from Gremlins Modeling Mayhem. How are you, mate? Welcome. We've got a few in. Actually, right now we have nearly twice as many as we had when I did it at the new time last week, which was not such a good idea. I don't think I'm going to go back and do that. Yeah, I think we only had about 8 or 9 people in watching. Now we're getting up to 16 or so. We're probably well over 20 or so. So, yeah, I think we'll stick to this time. Sorry about everyone in the UK. You'll just have to stay up a bit later. Maybe when the clocks change back again, we'll be an hour earlier, whenever that is. Jeff's there. Hello, Jeff. Welcome, mate. Hey, all good. Hope you're well. I really haven't been watching any of you guys' videos. I've been really busy in this life of retirement over here. Seriously. It's been, it's, a bit crazy. I'm sort of addicted to this computer game. I can't stop playing. I mean, I paid like 8 hours straight yesterday. It's just amazing. I'm building this house, this fort, or what they call the structure is your base, basically. And you can really design how you want. It's fantastic. It's really quite good. But unfortunately, if you want the good materials, like the nice glass windows and window frames and nice walls and stuff, they catch you there. You got to pay for that. The game's free to play, but it's called Once Human. The game's free to play, but yeah, if you want to get extra cosmetic stuff, you actually pay, and it's not cheap. Oh, I mean, I would love to buy this glass for the windows and all this really nice railings and stairways with that on it. But for a pack of 57 pieces to build your house, which is just a small part of what you can do in this survival game, it works out at about 85 Australian dollars. It's like over 50 US dollars to buy this stuff, and I can't justify that. I mean, you can buy whole games for that, and then what happens if they bring out another set? I'm not going to fork out another 50 odd dollars for another set. It's just, yeah, it's a shame. So I'm doing what I can with the material they supply. One of the tricks is you got to, as you play through the game and you level up and you explore new areas and you open new chests and things and go to new vendors, you come across all these new things. So there'll be new wall textures and wallpapers and different granite and floors and wood types and things like that, but few and far between. I mean, you max out at level 50 at the moment. I've just hit level 43, and I've only found 3 vendors in 3 towns that sell any of this cosmetic stuff. And I've already bought those, which was about an extra 6 pieces that I didn't have before. And then that was it. I've not come across anything in any crates or anything I've opened up. And anyway, in a few weeks, they'll be doing another update and opening up new areas, and you'll be able to expand and do more. So anyway, way off subject. You can see why I'm addicted to the thing. Anyway, but it hasn't pulled me away from the model. I've been working on the model too. You'll be happy to know. Even though I skipped a video last week, there will be one this week. This week coming. Captain Charlemagne, how are you, buddy? Welcome. I'm going to catch up on chat because there's you're starting to come in now. How we got? You're doing some touch-up paint on the HMS Invincible. Very nice. That's good. Jeff's been playing with his 3D printer. Still lots to learn, I bet. Boy, that'll keep you busy. Actually, I don't know. You're doing some videos on your learning experience of the 3D printer. Maybe you could encourage someone like me to, make the investment. Yeah, other than little plastic, holders for things, and I don't know. I guess I haven't looked into it at all. Excuse me, but my imagination is pretty minimum. There's probably a lot more you can do with a 3D printer that I could think of. So, so I guess there are lots of things you could make in 3D. Like a phone holder would be handy on the motorbike. Don't know if the plastic's really good for that. Maybe even some little brackets for my GoPro cam on my bike would be handy. I'm sure anything that's made of plastic. There. All right, here we go. Down the list, who's in? Just buy a file and print. That's right. There's a lot of free stuff out there too, I think. And is that right? The cost of a printer is not more than a couple of nice kits. Yeah, a couple of nice Yamato 1/200 scale kits if you want a really good printer. Talking about the Yamato, I got some news. I'll remind me later on I've got some interesting news about my Yamato 1/200 scale. Someone might, I'll talk about that shortly. The one that I built. Okay. Let's see, how are we going? Anyway, Jet Scale Modeling is there. How are you? You like pancakes? Good, so do I. Had pancakes the other week. They weren't very good though. They were in the little shake plastic container you put water in. You tip them out. I got a little container about that big. Thought this would be good. I tip it out. I put the right amount of water in. All I got was 2 pancakes that size out of the whole bottle. That was it. I'm not paying $3.50 for that. So yeah. Anyway, but I do have bananas. Look, bananas and pancakes. I just thought I might snack on that while I'm chatting if I get a bit peckish. It's a bit early for breakfast at 4 a.m., but hey, you know how it is. Jeff saying a reasonable resin printer here is around $250. You can spend a lot more. I bought my filament printer for $200. Yeah, they are cheap, but then what's all your filaments cost? Like your plastic stuff. Is that the expensive part? Oh, I haven't had a shave, have I? Look at this. Geez, I'm a mess. Makeup. Oh, I wish. What else we got? Gremlin's saying, Gary saying, earlier this evening I saw Airfix 1400 Titanic for £70 in a toy store. Airfix do a Titanic? Really? Can't imagine that would be a very good model. Hey, a 1/400 scale. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty basic, wouldn't it? Bit toyish. I don't know. We'll see. Daniel's there. Hello, Daniel. Did I say hello? I'll say it again. Hey, mate. Crafting Budgie Mama's there. Welcome back again. How are you? Crafting, I'm sure. That's good. Crafting and modeling. That's what we're all about. Right now, bidding on a 1350 USS Alaska. Nice. Yeah. Person is offering for $44. So waiting for how it goes for the next 5 days. Yeah, that'd be a nice one. Nice scale. Yeah. A nice ship to build. That was me saying, please take your seats. So I've caught up that far. We're doing okay. We've got nearly 20 people watching. Good on you. So if you're new and you haven't said anything, chuck a hello there in chat and let us know where you're from. Did you see last week, the guys that were on last week? I think it was last week where, what's his name, jumped in and threw out, gifted 5 memberships to the channel right in the last 5 seconds of the stream. In fact, I'd even ended the stream, and he jumped in at that in the last second, somehow managed to get it through. So whoever got lucky at the end of last week's live stream, good on you. 5 free memberships went out. Fantastic. And I got to tell you, it all helped. It all helps. It all goes towards my supplies here and everything. YouTube's my only income, believe it or not. That's it. And as little as it is, and it is little, fortunately things aren't very expensive over here. So the Aussie or US dollar can go a long way, as you know. And to be upfront and open, last month's income from YouTube, and I will include both channels, all right, would have covered 3/4 of my monthly rent here. So that's really good. So that's really nice. So that gives me a little bit more spending power on keeping these things happening for you guys and keeping my equipment up to date. And I'm pretty right now with a good microphone here and my lighting's all sorted. I do need to buy some paint. I haven't bought paint for my ship model yet, which we'll look at shortly. But I will be getting that. I keep saying it's what is it today? What's today? Saturday, some of you guys. It's Sunday morning here. Tomorrow I'm going to go back to the model shop here in Chiang Mai. Haven't been there for probably about nearly 8 weeks, I'd say. Time goes so quick here. It's unbelievable. It really does. But I want to go down there because I think they've got new stock in. And whether or not I'll do an update video, depending on what they've got there, I might do a new video. But otherwise, I just want to go and see what they got. It definitely needs some grey paint for my USS Reuben James. Yeah. Tasha, that's your name, Tasha. I'm sorry. It was right there. I'm bad. I'm bad with names. I did see, have I not got down? Peter's there. Peter Kwong's there. I'll put these names. There we go. Look, there we can see. Look at that. Big lettering. That looks bigger than normal too. Is that right? Yeah, that does look pretty big. That's okay. There you go. Your name's up in lights. And of course, we got Stephen Haynes is there. Welcome, mate. Welcome. There he is, as usual, saying hello to everybody. And Daniel, I've said hello probably twice or 3 times too, so we'll keep going down. Everyone's saying hello to Stephen. That was a while back. What's this say? But when I move out of this place, says Gary, in a few years, planning to get a 2-bedroom unit so I can have a proper workroom. Yeah, good on you. That's great. Yep. Me too. In 3 years' time, I'm going to buy a condo. Whether I'm in this place still or I'm somewhere else, who knows? But I'm definitely going to be purchasing a condo because this is that way I won't be paying rent anymore, and I've got an investment sitting there. But as for here, this is a fairly good size for me, 1-person studio apartment. But what I really want to do is get one of those like a divider. You can just stand them up like a room divider, which God knows where I'm going to buy one here. But anyway, just so I can separate this little studio and work area from the rest of the room a little bit, Because look, I'll give you a quick look around, okay? You don't usually see this, all right? But let's have a quick look. So, okay, I'll just turn the camera around. There it is. There's the view out there. And that's it. Down there's the TV. We've got the lounge, my nice comfortable chair, the balcony outside, the window goes pretty much the width of the unit down there, and all the lights out there because it's still dark. There's my fan going just to circulate the air. And then we're back, and of course over there, if you can see past the light, is the kitchen area up there. Down there's the modeling desk, and more bananas. That's my front door over there. Bathroom's in there. That's it. All right, and this cost me about $250 a month. That's all. $250 a month. Yeah, and it's all good. So where are we going? Down the chat. Down chat. Let's see. Hey Peter, why'd you change the chimes back? Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I was going to do it a different time, but yeah, it just didn't. Hardly had anyone came in. You know, I know a few people probably got caught out and didn't realise I'd changed the time. But anyway, so I'm sticking back to this one, to this time. Yeah, I guess it was early in the morning in the US, not too early, about 7 or 8 a.m. But I guess a lot of people don't get up till late in the US. And on a Saturday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I thought people would be home watching, but guess not. They're out gardening or out on the weekend, out somewhere doing something. I mean, in reality, the majority of the people who watch, who are into this hobby, are pretty much at retirement age, aren't we? You know, the age group is 45, 55 is where it starts out, and then 55, 65 is the majority. At least that's what I'm getting views on YouTube on the channel, is most of the people are. So you got to think, what are people doing if they're not at work? You know, weekends they're probably out doing stuff, but you know, if they are working, it's probably not full time. But yeah, it just didn't go down. So we'll give it a miss. So we've got Jim's there. Hello, Jim. Jim's been on his bike ride. He'll be watching his movies soon and eating pizza, if I got that right. And it's a beautiful temperature over there at the moment. Let's have a quick look. We got to know the temperature, don't we? So let's just throw that up. I've just updated this morning. These are the temperatures right now where you are, maybe. Yeah. Everyone's saying hello to Jim. I'm going to scoot down the chat while that's going across, and you can look at that. Ray's there. Hello, Ray from Malta. There he is. Ray from Malta. Good on you, mate. Hey, listen, mate. Question. Oh, you probably don't know this, but I heard that Malta has an agreement with Australia where if I was to retire, I can move to Malta and still claim my pension and other benefits as a retiree. I don't know if that's true or not, because if it is, you might be getting a visitor in a few years' time. It really sucks that you have to before you turn retirement age in Australia, and you want to claim your pension, you have to have been living in Australia 2 years before that date. So when I turned 67, and we're talking 10 years off, but when I turned 67, sorry about the noisy Harley Davidson going by. When I turned 67, at 65, I have to move back to Australia, live there, suffer, for 2 years, then I can go, right, now I can claim my pension, and then I can move overseas anywhere I want and get my pension. But there are about 10 countries throughout the world. Unfortunately, Thailand is not one of them, but I'm pretty sure Malta is, where for those 2 years, rather than going back to Australia and suffer because it's so damn expensive, I can go to Malta instead. There's a couple of countries in Eastern Europe as well that I can go to, but I think they're a bit cold for me. So I don't know, what's the cost of living in Malta? I know everywhere in the world's got more expensive, but let me know if it's gone up a substantial lot or if it's cheap compared to some other places. I'm not sure. We have a lot of Maltese people in Australia. I have Maltese friends when I was a kid. And anyway, moving on. Daniel's saying it would be interesting if you had a big wall clock behind you. You know, there is a big clock in that cupboard there. But the reason I don't put it up, and it wasn't up when I first moved in, and I asked my landlady when she was showing me the apartment, I said, because I said that we need a clock, you know, but the problem is it ticks and you can hear it ticking, and at night time it's quite loud. So that's why I don't have the clock. Otherwise, it's quite a nice big clock. Maybe I'll show you. I'll show you. Look. There we go. Throwing things around. There you go. Look. See? Family with a big cock on it. I mean, rooster. There you go. So that. See? But yeah, it ticks quite loudly. So I'll try it. I've never actually put a battery and tried it, so I'll put that over here, and maybe next week we'll see a clock on the wall, or maybe I'll just do it. I don't know. I don't know what that thing is there. Just every time I walk past it, it tinkles and moves around and stuff, you know. Anyway, Jim missed it completely. Yes, you did, didn't you? I know. Everybody said, "Where's Jim? Where's Jim? Hey, where's Jim? He's abandoned ship." Yeah, that's all right. Oh, do they? Clocks change at the end of October. Oh, that's good. Oh, it's still a way off, isn't it? But that's okay. Then, yeah, I'm leaving the things as are. Here in Thailand, there's no daylight savings or any clock changing business. It just stays the same time all the time, and it's fine. I'm really happy with that. First place I've lived outside Australia, but hey, I enjoy not having this daylight savings rubbish. Yeah. What else we got? Trip on Two Wheels is there. Gosh, hey, welcome, mate. Wham bam a loop, a loo op a wop bam boom. Okay. Welcome, mate. Good on you. Question says, Jim, if someone is in retirement, do they really go on vacation? Yes, they do. They do, because even if you're in retirement, you still got to take holidays, of course. You know, I mean, this is a permanent vacation over here, isn't it? You know, I live here, but you know, after 12 months, I'm planning to go away next year already. So, you know, during the smoky season, the burning season, which goes from end of March and April, and from March and April, I think, are the most of it is. That's when the smoke is really bad here, and I've been through that, and it wasn't very pleasant, I must admit. And if there's an opportunity to be somewhere else for those few months or couple months, I will. So my retirement visa expires and needs to be renewed next year in May. So what I'm thinking of doing is spending 2 to 3 months in the south on an island where there's no. So I'm going to take a holiday down on an island. Ko Chang is the name of the island. Beautiful. I've been there once before last year, and it's just paradise, just paradise. And fortunately, my landlady who owns this place owns I'm not sure whether it's a house or a condo down on that island. So there may be some way we can negotiate something and I can spend 3 months down there instead of up here. So yeah, I'll be taking a holiday, a vacation for sure. We're way back in chat, aren't I? Gosh, sorry. All right. Nothing wrong with games, Pete. Yesterday I spent 6 hours playing World of Warships. So that could finally unlock the Tillman Maximum Battleship USS Vermont. Oh, good. Yeah, I gave that a go for a bit too. World of Warships. That's a good game. That's a good game. What else we got? Scale models are enough for Daniel. Yeah, they are. I tell you what, the reason I skipped the video last week coming out was because I've fallen behind and I actually got all these wheels done. So let me take that off the screen so we can see a bit better. There you go. So all the wheels for the tank are done. There's quite a lot of work in each of them. You can see them there. All right. So the wheels turn, of course. The little piece in the top there, it turns. They turn. And you've got to be very precise of where you're putting the glue. Make sure you don't put glue where it shouldn't go. Inside there, these have to be fit tight together so that the wheels go in and they sit properly. And they need to be trimmed properly. All the bits of sprue that left on there when you take them off, go trim that all off. Otherwise, they'll interfere with the fit. And we're looking at about half an hour each one, not including the cleanup. And there's 6 of them, I think. 1, 2, 3. There's 6. So there's 3 hours work plus cleanup. So 4 hours of constant non-stop work to get those done. And then there's this wheel, which has photo etch on it. You can see that. There's 2 of those. And they go, I'll show you. See, that's where they're going to go. All right. And those single wheels there will go on the back, which has been recommended by one of you guys not to glue it on yet, because I need to be able to adjust things when I'm trying to fit the tracks. So that's going to go on the back of there. Yeah, I'll just test fit it. That little tiny piece there that sits between that and the wheel, which is in fact in here somewhere. There it is there. It's that piece. I'm yet to figure out how that goes on. Well, this is why I'm not going to glue it on now. I'll probably fit the tracks and then slide it in and get it right, because it sits at an angle, and even though it doesn't say don't glue it, it seems strange that why would you have all these wheels turn like they should, and yet this one is going to be glued on there and not turn? Makes no sense to me. So I'm not going to risk it. I can always glue it after, but I can't unglue it so easily. So that'll be, well, I don't know about those, but in the next video, you'll see me putting these together, at least one of them together anyway. I don't do them all on the video. And then we'll put this sprocket on here, I think. We'll get that done. And pretty much close to completing step 85 there. And then, of course, come the dreaded tracks, which, see that there, that little box there, that is all the instructions you get for putting the tracks together. You do 2 times, which is left and right side tracks, of 79 tracks. Each track links contains 79 tracks. So there's 79 tracks on either side. But that's the instructions, is just that. That's all you get. So Jeff's going to give me some hints. He has already on how to do that and figure that out. It looks like everything gets glued on. I think I remember him saying something about using a straight edge and something flat. So I'll use like my tile and then a steel ruler to put them against and make sure everything's going on straight. We'll see how that all pans out. But yeah, I'm glad I got those wheels. I just thought, that's it. Stop playing the game. Stop looking outside the window. Look at the desk and get those wheels done. And I just sat there and got them all done. There you go. All right. What else? There was that's about all there. I wanted to show you blue tack. You know what blue tack is? I don't know if you called it something different in the States, right? Blue tack that you stick stuff with, you know? Over here, they don't know what the hell blue tack is. Even when I show a photograph on my phone, the shops I've been into that should sell it, they don't sell anything, right? Like blue tack. So I got these things. This is what they do sell. I've thrown out the box. They're not called blue tack, but they're a similar thing, right? And there it is there. Like you just reuse it, you know. But the problem is, it's like chewing gum. When you stick it on a part or you're using it to hold something in place or whatever you're doing, because blue tack's always good for stuff, if you leave it there too long, you end up having to, all this stringy, you know, like it gets really like chewing gum and it's hard to get off. It's a pain. Next time I order something from Monique at Icky Sticky, I wonder if she could throw in a packet of blue tack for me in the box, because I really miss things like that, you know. This stuff is just one of those things that makes everything just that little bit harder, you know. Bilge Rat's there. Good morning to you. Good morning on this happy Sunday morning for you. Hope you got a relaxing day ahead. That's good. What else we got? Daniel Britton. What's this? Just found and bought a 1/200 scale Apollo gantry. Oh, can't believe it. That'd be cool. 1/200 scale. Very nice. That'd be interesting to put together. Very good. Hey, everybody, saying hello to Bilge. Waiting for replacement begin bearings for the ute. Okay. Bit of mechanical work going on. Captain saying, so anyone get anything new to your stashes that you all are looking forward to working on in the future? I certainly did it. I didn't. That was the good old days of that Yamato. Yeah, I'll tell you what though, that Yamato build videos are the most watched videos on this channel. In fact, part 1 of the build and the final video of that build are the 2 most watched videos every month on this channel. All right. I'm like the Yamato part 1 build is just constantly being watched, that whole section. So, talking about the Yamato, and I will say this before I forget, my Yamato that I built is for sale. All right, so before I move to Thailand, let me have a sip of coffee before it gets cold. Here we go. I gave my model to a friend of my father's, friend of the family, who took it off my hands and said, yeah, I'll take it and display it at my home and that. So he came and took it away, and it's up at in Sydney, North Sydney. I'm not sure of the suburb, but it's up near Narrabeen Beach. He's up in the Northern Beaches area. Unfortunately, and there's no rush for this, but him and his wife decided they may be thinking about downsizing selling their house and moving somewhere smaller, in which case they don't have the room to display my Yamato. So he says that I should sell it. And I'm thinking, oh, rightio, we'll see how it goes. So anyway, so I'm just going to put the word out there. And obviously the problem with that is that it's going to be, it can't be posted. All right. There's no way it can be posted. The only way a buyer can get this Yamato is to actually go and pick it up. All right. It's just too delicate to trust with any courier service to be able to mail that thing anywhere. So, but it is something that we're talking. Don't have to, it's fine where it is for the rest of the year and probably into the beginning of next year. There's no rush at all. So that's plenty of time if somebody wants to, can work things out, and next time they're in Sydney, grab it. But I'm putting it out there. So I'm not going to put a price on it. All right. To be honest with you, I've never sold a model in my life. I have no idea what the value is. I put a lot of work and a lot of hours into that. Of course I did. That's true. But the whole model, including all the aftermarket stuff, as you know, cost me well over $1,000 Australian. We're looking at about 1,200. And if you include all the paints, which isn't, well, all right, outlaw paint. So I didn't pay for the paints, okay? But all the equipment and everything needed for it, it cost me a fair bit. But I'm just going to take offers at this point over the next few months. If anyone knows anyone that preferably lives in Sydney, you can just, I'm just going to throw out offers and let anyone who wants to offer, because I want it to go somewhere that I don't care if you want to, buy it and donate it to a school or to a library or somewhere that's got room to display it, a business in their foyer of a company, or, I don't know. I mean, it is big, no joke. I mean, sure, we know it's like 5 foot long. Anyway, that's just putting it out there. So my 1/200 scale gallery models Yamato complete is for sale, open to offers, and we'll see how that goes. And I'll put some more information and photos and things on the Facebook Hangout site and see how that is. But there we go. The reason why I'm not going to ask for a large amount of money for it is that I made it on YouTube. Okay, I've got YouTube videos, and like I say, those YouTube videos are watched every day by people around the world, and it's earning me income. Now, the Yamato build, the whole series, the income I've earned from that Yamato build have almost covered the cost of what it cost me to build and buy that model. Okay, so it's paid for itself. All right. So that's ongoing too. So that'll always be. Those people are always going to watch those videos, and there's always going to be a little bit of income trickling in from the advertising on those videos and the revenue. So I don't, but my friend over there who's looking after it and babysitting it for me says, "Oh, you got to ask something for it. You can't just give it away for nothing." Like, well, I did give it away to you, but of course your family and that. So, but we'll see. Anyway, it's out there. Yamato is available for anyone who. Restricted marketplace, of course. You'd want to be from Sydney or New South Wales anyway, but you're going to have to pick it up. That's the only thing. Bilge knows what it's like mailing models. When Paul mailed my Arizona, which I gave to Paul, my Arizona 1/200 scale to Bilge, how did that arrive, eh? Jesus Christ. They've put that thing upside down and kicked it around, no matter how many fragile stickers were put on it, and you had quite a repair job to do on it. And there's no way that I would be sending the Yamato. And you even had it packed in a wooden crate. Even had it in a wooden crate. So anyway, To Boldly Goes is there. Hello, mate. You've probably been there for 10 minutes now because I've been talking. G'day, James. I know you just put a video up. I'm going to quickly have a look at that afterwards. But again, To Boldly Go Model Works, another channel to go visit. All right, where else are we going? Yeah, I did get ripped off in terms of pancakes. I'm going to have to scoot down this chat. I'm trying not to miss anyone because I'm way too far behind. Andy's there. G'day, mate. Welcome. How are you? You look a bit like me when I was younger. Eh? A little bit. Just a little bit. How else are we going? Looking down the chat. Shooting down. Hobby Time's there. Hello, Hobby Time. Welcome, mate. Welcome. Hobby Time saying hello to everybody. Everyone's saying hello back. And there's Skullfish. Hey, buddy. Welcome. Good on you. And how are we going? Further down. I will report that my swollen feet have improved. I think I might have mentioned that on last week's if you were in. Getting a bit of fluid build up on my feet. Now getting swollen. I've got tablets now I'm taking regularly. And it's making a difference. And I've found out that walking helps. Okay. That's a cock on the wall. That's right. I'm sure you spelt that wrong, but yes, we know what you mean. Yeah. What else? I'm shooting down here. You're retired but still work, says Daniel. Yeah, tell me about it. I'm doing more now that I'm retired than when I was working. No, I'm not getting paid anywhere near what I was, though, working, but that's okay. Airfix, Void, Vintage Classic kits. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've noticed that. Same with not just Airfix. There was another one. Revell early kits are like that too. See you, Ray. You're probably already gone, but see you, mate. Have a good one. What else? Yeah, my feet. They're much better. What I've also done was what I've been doing here was drinking the tap water, but I boil it first. So at night I fill the jug up and I boil water, and then in the morning I put it all in the fridge in plastic containers. Like I just reuse these, and that's with boiled water. But boiling water doesn't filter everything out, so it's still not good for me. And I'm thinking maybe that's something that's not helping. So what I do now is I buy 20-litre plastic water dispenser bottles, and then online I bought a little pump that sits on the top with a tube to the bottom, and it's USB charged. You just press the button on the top. It's got a little nozzle, and you fill up the bottles from it. And I keep it in a cupboard under the sink, and I'll see how it goes. So a 20-litre bottle of water cost me 30 baht, so just over $1. $1 US, less than $1 US, $1 Australian. So that is so cheap. I mean, and that's 20 litres. So it'd be interesting to see how long it lasts me, because all I do is go down, take the empty bottle downstairs, swap it over with a full bottle. They have little trolleys you can bring it up in the lift with, and pay you 30 baht for the next one. So much, much cheaper and healthier. So we'll see how the bottled water goes. Yeah, because you can go to 7-Eleven, buy bottles of water for 10, 12, up to 20 baht. So that's 50 cents to $1 for a bottle of water. But they're only going to be a litre and a half or whatever that is. I don't know what that is. It's not even in English. Can't even see what that. But, that. and yet for 50 cents, 30 baht, I'm getting 20 liters. So it's all good. So yeah. Oh, there we go. Here's a link to the files for a fully 3D printed Yamato. All right, good one. I will check that out later. Thanks for that, Jeff. That's good. How else we got? And how about that? A week ago, right? So after the live stream with you, was it last week on the weekend? Yeah. So we did that live stream in the morning, right? Which was about 8 or 9 o'clock in the US. Straight after that live stream, I went to another media channel where they were doing a live broadcast of the Trump rally. And I just watched it out of interest. I thought, I'll go and check out this, because the guy that does this news agenda, they're called News Agenda, he doesn't usually cover those rallies. He covers major news stories, breaking news stories, but nothing like this. So I thought, I'll go and have a look. And then I sat there after doing our live stream. I switched straight to his stream. I'm watching, and then within 10, 15 minutes, boom, the shooting happened, eh? I'm like, whoa, check that out. It all happened just as I was watching it. Amazing. Anyway, we won't talk about that. What else we got? Moving down. There's Johan. Hey, buddy, welcome. How are you? Good. That's good. Dan Usher's there as well. G'day, Dan. We were talking about 3D printing again. Oh, I'm almost caught up on chat. Good. I'll look forward to checking out that link you put in there. In fact, if I go over to my laptop here, I'll be able to click on that link and have a quick look. There it is there. And ArtStation. Whoa. Oh, okay. Can you buy that? Oh, so you can buy all the parts that make up that full Yamato 1200. Wow. Not cheap though. Hey, one rangefinder is $5 US. Okay. I'd like to see, there's the guns. $15. How much is that, just for one turret? Is that one turret for $15 US? And what, you need like 100 of them? $15 for the... Oh, okay. Hose reels. Oh, I suppose if you print your own, then yeah, that'd be okay. You're saving a bit of money, but it's okay. But how much do you want to print? I mean, I don't know. I think 3D printing does some amazing detail that you can only get with photo etch, and even then, photo etch is not as good as some of the 3D printing, I believe. Where are we? And then, of course, all you're doing is gluing the 3D printed part on. There's no modeling. There's no modeling skill in doing that, is there? I mean, compared to putting together one of those guns that comes with 20 pieces of photo etch. That's the whole idea of model building, is that the time and the detail you put into building it. Now, if you're going to buy all the parts 3D printed, well, it's pretty much like putting Lego together, isn't it? You're just sticking the part on there and it's already built for you. Of course, making your own part using a printer is different, because then you've got to, you're building the part, but in a different way, aren't you? So maybe. And then if you you know, you make extra parts that you could sell. So different. Jet saying, how does that work for your income in Thailand from YouTube? Yeah. Are you not classified as a digital nomad? Or maybe, but you pay Oz tax. Yeah. So I'm a Australian citizen, and I'm still taxable by Australian as an Australian citizen. And I just put in my tax return and did my last tax return a couple of weeks ago and got that back. That was my last working tax return in Australia. Next year, I don't know what I will do about that. I'm going to still put in a tax return, lodge one in Australia, so that there's a record that I am a taxable Australian citizen. So the government has a record of that, because I think that might help when it comes to when I claim my superannuation in 3 years and then in 10 years my pension. As for the YouTube income, it's very small, all right? It's paid in US dollar from the US. Well, actually, for some reason, it's got Ireland on AdSense, where your revenue comes from, and it's paid in Australian dollars, and it's paid into my Australian bank account, so it is still income. So, yeah. I've roughly spoken to my tax agent about it, and she's not too sure about it, and that's why she's never added it as income over just the few years I've been doing this on YouTube. But I don't want the tax man catching up to me and saying, hey, you've been doing this and you've earned all this money over the years you've been doing it. You owe us, you know, be a problem. So we'll see. As for being in Thailand, I'm not a digital nomad. There's a lot of different rules and stuff here. There is a digital nomad. It's called, it's a new visa that just bought out called the DTV. Okay. And it's for digital nomads type thing. Or you can come over here and learn cooking or Muay Thai or learn Thai and get a visa, like an education visa. It's a similar thing. I'm a resident of Thailand, okay? So I have residency here. I have a certificate of residency, which makes me taxable. I'm not allowed to work in Thailand. I cannot go out and get a job here and work in Thailand, all right? I can do this where the money is overseas. I can make YouTube videos of Thailand, but the income's coming from overseas. So that's a grey line, but it's working out okay. It's okay. Once you've lived here for over 180 days of a 12-month period, you become liable for tax, just like any other citizen. All right. But also, as any other citizen, you're entitled to the rebates as well. So you can claim on different things, like I bought a microphone, I can claim that on tax. I can claim other expenses on tax here. But only if they decide my income is taxable. Now, the other thing is that Australia and Thailand have an agreement, a treaty. They call it a treaty. So if the tax rate in Thailand is higher than what I would pay in Australia, yet my money's going into an Australian bank account from YouTube, so that's taxable in Australia. You only pay the difference. They might go, well, you're paying 27% tax in Australia, but we charge 30%, so we'll just charge you 3% on that income. That's how they work that out. It's a little bit confusing. Yeah. Otherwise, just don't say anything and put a little bit of money aside for one day when someone comes up and says something. I'm working on it. Yeah. There is a way here, and I'm in the process of talking with another person, another Aussie guy that lives here, getting a tax. like a tax number, your tax number, right? Tax file number. Get the equivalent of that for here in Thailand. But the problem is once you register here for that, then you're on their books, you're on their radar. And then maybe next year they might say, right, now you've got to lodge a tax return. And then they might make a thing where part of my retirement visa renewal each year is to show a certificate from the taxation department showing that I've paid tax on the income I'm supposed to. It might be a requirement of renewing my visa. So sometimes it's best not to say anything. We'll see. So anyway, how are we going? Oh, you watched a video of rockets going off and it came back down in the crowd when you filmed them. They all went off straight. Yes, they did. That was crazy. The Rocket Festival here a couple of weeks ago. We had a couple of misfires on the launch pad where a couple exploded on the launch pad and the shrapnel came into the crowd. That was pretty cool. That was pretty amazing. Like, a bit scary. We had to sort of duck for cover. Like, next time I'll go, I'll wear a hat just in case something burning lands on my head, on my hair. But all the shrapnel from the rocket came into the crowd, like leaving smoke trails as it came across. I think for the few hours I was there were about 3 misfires that happened. But otherwise, they all took off straight, thank God. Wow. Yeah, I've seen that video where there was a few years back, 3 people were actually killed and some people were injured. There's a bigger rocket festival somewhere else in Thailand where that happened. Yeah. So good. And that's half a litre, Peter. Thank you. Yeah, see? Of course. I'm thinking way too much. 7-Eleven bottles are... where are we? We got here. Fix that. Ounces, half a litre. Okay. So, I'm better off buying this. Well, to give you an idea, I got the bottle on the 23rd. So that was on Tuesday, all right? And now it's already Sunday morning. And I filled up all my bottles, including a big bottle that sits in the bottom of the fridge I top up from. And I haven't used even a third of what's in that 20-litre bottle yet. So I'm hoping if I get 2, maybe 3 weeks out of that, I'm laughing. That's great. Okay, once you have the file, you can print as many as you want. That's right. That's good. That's okay. It's about 90 parts. Oh, of course, you've still got a lot of painting to do. Yeah. And it's one of the reasons why, and I blame myself. I'll say that because he's not here, but I think it's partly my fault that Ron over at the model ship did not build the Yamato and did not go with the Yamato model. He went with the Submarine instead, the U-boat, because I told him how, and he watched my video on all those guns and how there's 25 pieces of photo etch for each one, and you've got to build like 25 of them. And as good a modeler as Ron is, all right, for sure, I struggled doing so much repetitive work. I think there were 24, it wouldn't be an odd number. I think there were about 24 of these guns that needed all this photo etch, and it was a struggle. And I thought, all right, he could go out and buy the resin stuff, and get them already built. Sure, it's a little bit an extra expense, but you could go out and avoid putting them all together and spending all the time. But, it took me a week and a half just to do those guns. So, but yeah, as you get older and your fingers get a little bit more feeble, the old photo etch, even at 200 scale, is a struggle. Just curious, Thailand's pretty strict as far as work, etc. there, yep. How does that work for you, getting money without a work permit? How does it? Yeah. As far as YouTube is concerned, those who make YouTube, who's checking? Who's checking, you know? I mean, and I don't consider building a model as a hobby and putting it on YouTube and editing and doing all this work that involves putting it up on YouTube. That is not work. That's a hobby. Okay. And going out and making videos on things like visa requirements, day at the zoo, which I just put out yesterday, making videos, they can still consider that as a hobby. All right. It's still as a hobby. So, yeah. And you're not employed by anyone here in Thailand, and you're not getting paid in Thai baht, local money. And, you know, so that's how that works. So it's not an issue. If I was working here as a school teacher, you know, I got a guy next door, an Australian guy who works at a Catholic school, not far from here, and he's a full-time school teacher, and he's been working 3 or 4 years, I think. So a lot of people come over and do teaching, and where they physically go out and do the teaching. You know, it all depends on where your income is coming from. But the other problem here you got to be careful of is that they're also considering any money that is transferred from a foreign bank account to a Thai bank account is considered income. All right. Unless you can show that it's been taxed already in your home country and you have this treaty going on, they consider it income. And once you've passed the 180 days here and you become a resident for taxation purposes, they can go through and see all those wise transfers and all those transfers from foreign countries into your Bangkok bank account or whatever account you got over here. And they can go, right, unless you can show that that is savings from work or you've already been taxed on that money, we're going to tax you on that as income. Even if that's money you've been putting aside for, well, most people don't holiday here for 180 days, do they? So, yeah. So you got to, yeah, there's a lot of red tape. Yeah. What else we got? We have a treaty in Canada with Thailand and for tax as well. That's right. I think Canada does too. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the US also does. So that's good. What else we got? Johan's going. Good. Cheers, mate. Thank you. We'll be finishing up reasonably soon. We've been going over an hour, so that's all right. And here we go. He's off to do his Pizza and the Three Stooges movies. So we'll catch you later, Jim. Have a good one. I'll be getting the Aussie Scale Modeler live chat in another 3 hours. Yes. Good for you, mate. I will be doing my live stream for Discovering Thailand. And I was actually thinking of going somewhere to do that. I have no idea where. I just want to go out for a ride on my bike. I haven't been for a good ride on my bike for a week or so. So for the 9 a.m. live stream here in Thailand, I was going to go out and do it somewhere. We'll see. I want to maybe do paintings when I retire to Thailand. Okay. From photographs I take with my underwater camera and above ground, and then selling the paintings. Yeah. Hey, you can do that. Just remember, you'll have to sell the paintings online. whether you put up a website and sell them, or you put up an eBay, sell them online, like on an eBay type thing, you can do that. Just make sure that when you're getting paid for them, it's going into your foreign bank account, not into your Thai bank account. Otherwise, it's going to be income. And that also tells me you're a scuba diver, are you? God, I love scuba diving. I used to. I don't think I'll ever do it again. I wish I did. I got up to my dive master qualification. I did my open water. I did my rescue diving. I did my night diving, and I did my dive master, and all the qualifications up to that. And yeah, underwater photography, beautiful, and some great places to dive in Thailand. Oh gosh, not that I ever have. I've dived in Indonesia. I've never dived in Thailand. Yeah. Anyway, Peter's got to go. Thanks, mate. Thanks for coming on. Good one. Greetings from Winnipeg. There he is. Speak of the devil. We were talking about you. I was just telling everybody how you got put off doing the Yamato because of the photo etch and how much there was and how fine detailed those guns were that you saw me do. Yeah, we were just talking to Jeff doing 3D printing now, where, you know, Jeff could 3D print those things now. So, you know, I know it's not completely off the books, the old Yamato 1200, but, you know, Jeff there, he's bought himself a 3D printer. I'm pretty sure he could 3D print any of those photo etch parts that would be normally be a struggle. I know they were a struggle for me. So maybe keep that in mind. A little bit more of an expense, but hell, save you a lot of work and frustration. You know, yeah. You can't sell there on the street, not if you're on a retirement visa. If you've got a working visa, not a problem. You know, and you can't hold both. It's either a retirement visa or a working visa. You can't hold both. But hey, maybe you qualify for a working visa. Go for that. But you wouldn't have much selling there on the street, okay? Because for a start, unless you're in the tourist area, locals won't buy it. It's paintings and things that you're going to do. You'd have to open up a shop. You really would have to open up a shop. You know, it rains often too, you know, so things are going to get damaged. And then, of course, opening a shop, then you're going to need to, yeah, obviously have a business name and license and so forth. So, yeah, and your tourists would be the market. And then you got to also think, you know, people come to Thailand for a holiday for summer to enjoy 1, 2, or 3 weeks. Most of people here, wherever you are in Thailand, are going to be tourists, right? Tourists. I don't think they would be your big market to sell paintings. Because who's going to want to carry around and bring back to their home country something as bulky and awkward as a painting to not get damaged? Your market here would be foreigners, expats living here. You know, I mean, I'd buy your painting and put it up on the wall instead of putting a clock up there. I'd put one of your paintings there. So your market would be for foreigners, expats living here. I think it's doable. And like I say, you could get a good price. On a painting, you make up your own price, whatever you think, really. It's the value is in the eye of the beholder. It's like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So is the value when it comes to art. So I don't know. You could put up one of your paintings for something like, you know, $300 or $400 US. Okay, and you might get it, and you could sell that no problem. But the same painting you could probably sell for $8 or $9 or $1,000. It's all up here, isn't it? You know, But of course, all those prices are going to be way out of the reach of local people because it's just too expensive for local people. But if you're living on local means and you're renting here and you're paying local bills, do you need to ask such a high price? You know, I mean, you sell one painting a month and that would cover your rent. In fact, one painting at $300, right, you work it out, one painting at $300 US would cover your rental for your condo. All right. And maybe for your shop where you got your little setup. Just one painting. So, you know, so then you decide, well, maybe I would sell more paintings if they were cheaper. So you might drop them down to $100 each, the equivalent of $100 each. And instead of selling 3 paintings at $100 in a month, you might sell 6 or 12 paintings in a month, make 3 times as much money. You know, where I'm sure, I hope you would sell more than one $300 painting a month. You might sell 3 or 4 a month, or you sell 1 a week. It all varies. It all depends, you know. So there you go. But again, it's yeah. And then you got to pay the bribes and the mafia and all the rest, and you know. But I don't think there's much competition. You know, there are people doing paintings, some really nice paintings around here. Yeah, it depends how good you are. You know, so there you go. And you've got your dive master too. Good on you. Yes. Good. I'd need a refresher. I really would. You've done lots of dives in Thailand. Yeah. I did most of my diving I started in Indonesia. I went to the Gili Islands and I went diving there. That's where I think I remember doing my open water license. But most of my diving, believe it or not, is in Egypt, of all places. I went to Dahab, a place called Dahab in Sinai. It's on the Red Sea. On the other side of the Red Sea is Israel. Okay, and the Red Sea is magnificent for diving, and Dahab is the main center for Egyptian diving, and also Hurghada. What was the name of it? There was another place as well. But yeah, when I did my dive master qualification, you had to do a certain number of dives. So over the 4 weeks, I spent 4 weeks there, 6 weeks in Egypt, but 4 weeks in Dahab diving, and I was doing 2 or 3 dives every day. Night dives, drift dives, wreck dives, shark dives, camel dives, out with the Bedouin villages out in the Sahara Desert where it borders on the Red Sea with the Bedouin tribes walking out. You ride a camel out to the village with all your dive gear and all your tanks and equipment on the camel. Park your camels up and then go for a dive and then come back. And then the villages that have this tent, not a tent, but this little outhouse thing set up, and they'd have your lunch all cooked for you when you come out diving. Oh, it's amazing. Check it out. Yeah, that's beautiful too. That's good, mate. That's good. What else we got? Yes. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, there's ways around that for sure. I know a guy who I recommend in my videos who I rented my motorbike off. He's from Belgium. All right. He's living here on a retirement visa, not a working visa. And he has a motorbike rental business, all in his wife's name. So it's his wife who actually does that. He just sits out the front and meets the people when they come and talks to them. But officially, it's her business. So yes, that would work fine. Not a problem. That would save you a lot of work. Yes. Yeah. So think about that, Ron. You could, no problem, getting the resin parts for those. You know, we were just looking there, the 1/200 scale 3D printing. I'm looking at, you know, They've got all the guns and everything you want there. The searchlights, but you could do those with the photo etch. Yeah, it's fine. The thing with the Yamato kit is that you can't build it without the photo etch. All right, you can't put those guns together without the photo etch because there are no equivalent plastic parts in the kit. All right, so those 15-inch guns that sit on the edge, gantry over the edge of the ship there, there's no option to just build them all with plastic parts. They have to be done with the photo etch. Just buy them as resin. There you go. See you, Jeff. Thanks, mate. Thanks for coming in. Good one, mate. Thanks a lot. Yeah, that's good. Lehar's there. Hello, buddy. Welcome. Coming in at the last moment. I'm going to be finishing up here. I was going to go and have a quick look through this with you. I'm just going to take that out. Just have a quick look at the hull. I've already done the unboxing of it and so forth. I'm just a little bit concerned that it's an Academy model. Just seems like a lot of the plastic seems really thick and bulky and out of scale. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but looking forward to starting that. Dying to finish this tank I'm working on. Gosh. So there we go. Oh, good for you. I won't be doing that. Yeah, I had a semi-dry suit. You got a dry suit, yeah. I bought a semi-dry suit. I used to go shark diving in Sydney off the beaches. In fact, a lot of Sydney beaches have grey nurse sharks along the reefs. Not the reef, but on the rocky cliffs at the end of the beach. There's a couple of beaches there, not far from the famous Bondi Beach. We used to hop on a boat, go out and come around, and then where all the surfers are, they'll all be sitting out there waiting to catch a wave, and we'd be on the dive boat just like 50 meters away, and we'd jump off the boat and dive down, and there'd be like dozens of grey nurse sharks all just working their way up and down the reef, right under the feet of all these surfers in the water. Yeah. So fantastic. All their teeth hanging out. But the great thing is, that's why sharks are harmless. They really are. There's a lot more around than you know, and they rarely attack. So there you go. There we go. No, that's okay. I don't mind chatting about anything else. That's all good. There's a shark spotted in the River Thames in London, was there? Oh, okay, cool. I dived. One of my ultimate goals was to dive with whale sharks. And one of the first dives when I was getting my license, I went from open water to a full license, was in the Gili Islands in Indonesia. So if you go to Bali, most people, you fly to Bali and then you go up to the northeast coast and there's a ferry. You catch that across to the next island called Lombok. And then from Lombok, you go on a bus up north. I can't remember the name of the town, but from there you hop on a little motorboat out to one of 3 islands. There's 3 Gili Islands, and a couple of them, they're all pretty much got these dive places on there. Fantastic. You just go out there. Was quite remote. Hopefully it still is. It was beautiful. And yeah, one of my first dives was with 2 or 3 of the whale sharks. Just amazing. The nurse is a scary looking shark. It is, yeah, because they got the teeth hanging out. And literally, when you dive, you go down and you're sitting on the bottom of the ocean on the sand there on your knees. You're just kneeling there, and you're all in a row, and you're looking at each other, giving a thumbs up. Everyone's okay. You had to check because some people freak out, especially if it's their first time. And then while you're sitting there, our leader would point and go, look, and then you'd see the sharks, and they'd just come cruising by, and their eyes, their black eyes, would literally look right at you, and you could almost reach out and touch the shark on the nose if you wanted to. That's how close they come. And sometimes, if you've got to be careful, because we sit like in a sort of a horseshoe like this. No, not straight, but like that, so we can all see each other just by going like this to check everyone's okay. But usually the person on the end is the one that's closest to the sharks, because they'll come across the front of us, and then the person on the end is going to be closest. And it looks like the damn thing, sometimes they're coming right towards you, and then they'll slowly veer away and go around you. And there were up to a dozen at a time down there. It was fantastic. Yeah, loved it. Yeah, but I remember the first time, and for anyone that goes out there for the first time, I went out there about half a dozen times. You always tell the people to just relax, don't panic. They're harmless. Don't reach out, don't touch, don't make sudden moves, and it's all fine. Yeah. And then we come back up to the surface, and after looking at the sharks, of course, they're used to seeing us, so that's no big deal. Sharks are quite used to seeing us, so no problem. All right, guys, I'm going to head off now, and thank you all for watching. We'll be back at the same time, same place next week, and I promise next week we'll invite a few of you on. All right, I'll put the link up there for everybody to join on. Get your camera on and come in here, and we'll have a chat. All right. So I'll give you all a minute to say goodbye, and it's now nearly 5:30 a.m. here. I'm going to eat my banana. I'm going to make another cup of coffee maybe, and try and think what I'm going to do, where I'm going to go today, and get more of this tank done today too. I've got one more of those wheels at the front to put together, and then I can start gluing them on. So the video you'll see coming out next week will be right where I'm at now, and possibly, well, definitely we'll be putting the wheels on the actual tank body itself. Okay. Gary won't be around. That's no problem. Okay, mate. No worries. Thank you anyway. Thanks for coming in. You too, Jet Scale Models. Yeah, don't worry. I love talking about diving. Oh, I miss it so much. I really do. I'm sure the opportunity might come up one day. You know, once with dive licenses, they don't expire. You've got them forever. You just need to do a refresher. Just for the record, I did 150 dives in my logbook in the 4 weeks in Egypt. 120 dives over 4 weeks. So that was 30 dives a week. So yeah, quite a lot. And just taking out new people, diving. It was fantastic. I loved it. Oh, the Phi Islands are beautiful. Yeah, I mean, Phi Islands are fantastic above the water, let alone below the water. I could just imagine. They're filming. They're filming there at the moment. What's the name of that film? There's a major film being done down there at the moment. Maybe it's a new Avatar. There's another Avatar film or something. Or no, Jurassic Park, something like that. There's a big film in production down there at the Phi Islands at the moment. Yeah. Our Nang down south and hook up with the dive. Okay, cool. We'll do. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody. And have a great weekend wherever you are. And you got some beautiful weather up there in Winnipeg, Canada at the moment, 27 degrees. Nice sunny day. Unfortunately, it's cold and only about 9-10 degrees in Sydney. So, you know, we keep them inside and keep them warm. But all good. All right. Well, where are we? I'll get my music to play. There it is. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody. And I'll see you all next week. Bye for now.